Let's cross to Melbourne via Zoom now and catch up with former Labor frontbencher Michael Danby. Thanks for joining us, Michael. Are you worried by what you've learned about Richard Marles' contacts with China?
Chris, the leader of the Victorian right is meant to be the security hawk that reassures mainstream Australia, to be the Kim Beazley or Bob Hawke of the current era of politics. And frankly, in word and deed, Richard Marles' attitude to China is a big shock to me, to many people who were traditional right-of-centre Labor supporters, and I suspect to Australians who are seeing a spy ship off the West Australian coast from an unfriendly country.
Wong revealed today that over that period she'd met with the Chinese twice. That was very clear. I'm not certain whether the government knew about that, but from what she was saying, they probably did. It sounds like Richard Marles hasn't notified the government about all these contacts here. Some of them he has, apparently. But what about the Labor leadership? Shouldn't the Labor leader and certainly the Labor foreign policy spokesperson ought to know whenever a senior Labor member is having those meetings, especially in the current fraught strategic environment?
Penny Wong doesn't say anything without coincidence. The fact that she said that she'd met once with the previous ambassador and once with the current ambassador is a juxtaposition with what Richard has done. And that is, more evidence about we're in an ironic situation. Chris, if Labor, as it looks like, will be elected, the two members of the Socialist left, Brendan O'Connor and Penny Wong, in Defence and Foreign Affairs, look like a surer pair of hands. And I think the revelations today by Sherry Markson must mean that it's problematic that Richard's planned smash and grab of the defence portfolio from Brendan O'Connor has to look, dubious. I mean, I think Brendan's run an excellent election campaign, unlike Richard. I think his revelations that the federal government, when Morrison was Treasurer, gave $29 million subsidy to the Northern Territory government to buy the Port of Darwin was a great add-on to the Labor national security.
Right. Let's get back onto Richard Marles, though. You're suggesting that these revelations mean he can't be Defence Minister. It's not just the meetings, of course, it's what we learn about the meetings, and it seems that he was trying to market himself to the Chinese as someone who would help broker a better relationship between Australia and China. Does that mean he was undermining our national interest in these meetings? Or is that being, or am I being too strong?
Neither you or I were there, Chris, so we don't know. But the Labor leader at the time, 2017 to 2019, Bill Shorten, should have been advised of every one of these meetings.
Was he?
I mean, it's not as if Hong Kong or
Do you know
the
whether
putting
he
of
was?
Uyghurs in the concentration camps was not in the news. I mean, really, it's a very controversial thing to do. And Wong should have known, Shorten should have known.
Michael Danby, just to butt in there, you might not have heard my question. You mentioned that Bill Shorten should have known, and then Anthony Albanese and Penny Wong all the way through. Did they know? Did Richard Marles inform them of all these activities?
Well, Maurice Payne said he informed them of one meeting. Penny Wong, I don't know whether she said anything about this. And I don't know whether Bill Shorten was involved. It seems that there's some great rivalry between Shorten and Marles, and I really am so shocked, frankly, with what Richards has said and done during this period.
So clarify for us in simple terms, why is it then that Richard Marles could now, in your view, not be Defence Minister?
Well, because he's met with the Chinese government, because he's submitted speeches to the Chinese embassy for approval, and because he's, when he's gone to China on behalf of the dubious China Matters think tank, said things that don't refer to the well-being of Australians who are imprisoned there, or the terrible situation of the people in Hong Kong, the threats to Taiwan, or the Uyghurs in the concentration camps. All of them, in my view, make him unsuited.
If you're saying the Labor Party's deputy parliamentary leader has been too soft on China to be trusted with the Defence Ministry. What does that say about the party that, according to the polls, could be headed to the government benches?
Well, it's ironic, Chris, that Anthony Albanese and Penny Wong and Brendan O'Connor are a surer set of hands. Greg Sheridan has interviewed Penny Wong about her attitudes to China and has given her a big tick off. We're in a totally ironic situation where perhaps we're like during World War II when the Ernest Bevin, the leader of the left in the British Labor Party, was Winston Churchill's right-hand man. It seems that the mainstream Labor leadership, Albo, Wong and O'Connor, are reliable. And I have to say that after these revelations today by Sherry Marks and the ones previously about what was said by Richard, including in his unrevised chapter in his book, are all create a bad picture.
Sorry, Michael, I just want to move on, but just to clarify, you are saying that Labor can be trusted on China, but it's just that Labor's deputy leader can't be trusted on China.
Well, that's a judgment for Albo and Wong and O'Connor to make, and you can't ignore the facts that have just been presented. I mean, who knew about these meetings? Who approved these speeches? Who said we shouldn't say anything about the Uyghurs, Hong Kong or Taiwan, or our Australians who are in Chinese prisons?
Extraordinary stuff. Thanks so much for joining us, Michael.
Thank you.